Arrays are another fundamental building block of programming languages. So an array is essentially a list, and in the list you can mix strings, numbers, variables, Boolean values, whatever you need to put in there. So the way we make a list is the same way that we make a variable. We say let, and we give it a name. So let's say desserts. And then we have to use square brackets to contain the list. So if the things inside the list are strings, of course they have to be inside quotes. So we could have cake, pie, ice cream. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. All right, so that's an array. Now, once we've got an array, the things that are in there have a fixed order. They're not going to move around on their own. And as a result, we can call them forth by their order. So each position in the array has a number, and the number is called an index. So by using their index, we can call them out. Now I'm going to do number 1 first because it might surprise you. Number 1. Okay, so what do you think number 1 is going to be? It's not cake, it's pie. And that's because the order in the array begins with 0. It's a computer thing, right? So a list that has 5 items has indexes that start at 0 and go up to 4. So if we said console log item number 5, there isn't one, okay? And often we might get an error if we were trying to use that in certain ways. We can also use the length property, just like we did on strings. Arrays have a length property also. And so that'll return how many items are in there. So if you needed to use the last item and you didn't know how many things were in the array, you could do desserts length -1. Now that'll bring us the index. And if we put that inside square brackets and put the name of the array in front of it, this is the same as saying desserts bracket for bracket. In other words, it'll always reliably bring us the last item in that array. One last thing we might do in this introduction is just console log desserts the entire array. And how does that come out? It actually shows up as an object, and in the console you can look at these and you can actually see their index numbers. So if you thought something was going wrong and you didn't understand why, you could use this to check out what are the indices in my array.